It was 25 this morning. Now it's 30, and they're saying it's supposed to snow anytime soon. Cody and I are pumping 600 gallons of fuel this morning. We're pretty close to done, so we're thinking 600 gallons should, finish here. If it's not, then we can always come back and get more. Oh man. Okay, so we are about 12 miles north of town here at the combines, and it is about 3 degrees colder. The pickup says 27 degrees. That is Fahrenheit. I'll put that in Celsius right here for the non-American people. Cody is fueling the combines right now. I'm going to grease both combines and headers. And then I think Dad just wants to call it for today already. It's already starting to kind of snow slash, drop some flurries. We just don't think it's gonna work today. So that being said, we're just gonna service, make sure we're not broke down, and then call it for the day. Kind of see what the weather does for the rest of the day and tomorrow, and kind of just go from there. Well, we didn't have a bearing hanging out or anything like that. We are serviced for whenever the weather clears up. But that's all I have today. I will see y'all whenever the weather clears up or when it snows. I don't know. For a dog who is always hot all the time, he sure is in heaven right now. Today is Halloween. It is October 31st, 2023. And we have maybe a day and a half left of Kansas before we finish. So, we finished this field last video that we're sitting on right now. Next is to pull the headers off and go to the next field. Let me tell you, today is already starting off awesome. I go to unhook my header. That snaps off. If you don't know what this is connected to your handle that you latch and unlatch, and then this is a cable that goes all the way down up to the front of your feeder house to extract and retract your pins to connect your header. Yeah, that cable broke off. So I had to climb under there and just totally take that entire cable off and then get under there with a pry bar and actually move the pins. Slight intervention, that took about 20 minutes, but now we're going to take the header off. From the looks of Mom turning around right there on the turn rail, I'm going to guess that the Milo is still a little wet. While the Milo is wet, Cody and John are going to go get the grain cart, and then Mom, Dad, and I are going to get this cable that is broke on this header. And if you don't know what cable I'm talking about this one. So you see that that's broke. That normally comes up and connects to this. So when you pick this, in and out right here, it moves these pins in and out to connect your header.
There's the new cable right there.
Yeah, that's what it bolts to.
Yeah, now I could probably do that.
We had to do some adjustments right here and right here for how far your handle can go back and forward, so we kind of had to get that right, but there you go, we're fixed. Mom is having center draper belt problems. Evidently her center draper belt won't turn. So Mom just texted me and said that her splines on that motor for her center draper belt just totally stripped off, along with the splines inside the roller. If y'all have been following along through the entire harvest run, you'll know on the second day of wheat harvest, so that was back in, I believe, end of April, the exact same thing happened to this header that I'm running right now. Speaking of which, here's the clips from that. Mom and Dad are putting the header on the header trailer. That's not a good sign. So Mom just texted me and said that the part that they need, they don't even have it in America. So MacDon, which is the headers that we're running, they're from Canada. Evidently they don't have a lot of parts in North America. So, that being said, they're not going to be able to get that going today, which that's a real bummer. So Dibs knows what it sounds like whenever I turn my separator off. So every single time, I can turn my header off and he'll be asleep. But if I hit my separator switch off, evidently there's a different tone or something, and he pops up and does that little whining thing. Do you want to go outside? Let's go. See, he can go out by himself. Only if he can come back in by himself. That'd be ideal. What are you doing? Yeah, you gotta jump. You gotta jump. I don't think the ladder will work. Yep, there he goes. The best thing about this job, definitely the sunsets. Technically, since I'm the only one out here cutting, do I really lose the light game or do I win the light game? We are almost done. I just have a lot of short rows because, you know, we cut at an angle and this side is straight. But we're gonna get there. Mom and Dad have already left the field. Matter of fact, they're back at the camper and they already made dinner, so I'm gonna dump off into Cody. Cody's gonna go dump that on John, and then we're gonna call it a night. I don't know how many acres are in the next 2 blocks closer to town, but I don't know if I can be able to finish that by myself tomorrow. We'll see. That being said, first thing tomorrow we have to road the combines back into town. That's a pretty big move in a combine. That might take an hour, hour and a half, somewhere in there. But that is going to be it for today's video. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow.